Bunger leans forward in amazement. His eyes have caught a sudden and unbelievable change in scenery. The universal white is turned to chocolate brown, dotted with blue. A cameraman goes into action. 300 square miles of land without snow. Land that might be in New Mexico or Arizona. Pictures alone will prove Bunger has discovered a warm oasis in the shadow of the pole. It is for such supreme moments as this that men brave the hardships of exploration. The astounding, undreamed of fact is that they are over a chain of warm water lakes, whose shores, except for small patches, are free of ice and snow.
Okay, peace family. We're going to analyze this today, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna have you guys think a little bit about all this information they gave us about the Antarctica Treaty and of 1959, and how these dudes went over there and they just saw these ice walls, and they ran around, and then there was a treaty that all nations made. Basically, you can't go past these lines, okay? And they claim it. They go there and then just claim it. How do you explain that? If this realm exists, for thousands of even millions of years, like they tell you, that man has been walking around here for millions of years, and you're telling me that they don't know what's behind all of that? All that time, they lived here. They didn't go beyond that. No nation went beyond that or nothing. But now these dudes can go beyond that. This secular 500-year-old civilization, okay, just discovered that there's other lands over there, there's ice over there, you can go over there, but you're not gonna let our people go over there. What happened? How they don't know nothing about the past? Yeah, don't tell me nobody ever went to the other side and came back before these dudes. Don't tell me. Yeah, because this is a lab. That's why you only have that information, right? These people don't tell you they burned all the books during history and everything. They burned books, Inquisition, burning books. And now they tell you that that's all information you have is that. There's beyond ice wall, you can't go. It belongs to such and such nations that claimed it. Never been there, claimed it. It makes any sense to you? It makes no sense, people, other than you live in a lab and your life is nothing but artificial. You know what I'm saying? And I don't tell you that to make you sad. I don't tell you that to destroy your life. I don't tell you that to give you a bad day. You know what I'm saying? I tell you that because it's the truth. And this is a truth channel. If you don't want to hear this type of things, if you're not willed for this type of things, don't come to this channel. Go, watch some entertainment stuff. But here we're gonna talk about the truth. How the hell nobody knows what's beyond the ice walls in the Antarctic and all that stuff? With millions and millions of people on Earth, nobody could go across that area the whole time, people. Whatever time they tell you that we've been here, let's go. Which means was not that long. Otherwise, somebody would been, went across and back. Long time ago. Let's go.
Commander Bunger circles the largest lake in sight, 5 miles long. He comes in to make a landing. Water temperatures must be recorded. Samples taken. He finds the water fresh. Temperature 38 degrees Fahrenheit. On the shores are vast deposits of coal and of minerals of the utmost importance to civilization.
Mountain ranges with peaks 20,000 feet above sea level. The trimetric on lenses, clicking overlapping exposures every 3 seconds, photographed from horizon to horizon. Coal, a mountain of coal. Bird later declares Antarctic mines, if once...
Now, if you use a thinking mind instead of a following one, now with all the psyops we see today, why would I believe anything that they tell me on this video? Like, these pictures, the ice walls, anything they show in this video for a fact. Why would you believe anything they tell you? They are telling you. You cannot go there to make sure that this is not a lie. Nobody goes there to make sure it's a lie. You see that? So it's all a simulation. They can tell you whatever the hell they want. And these places probably are not even real. Yeah, they could be made by AI somewhere underground, or copies of photos and other videos that they know nobody gonna go to these places, and then just make a quicksand video, because this is quicksand video for something that of that magnitude that nobody knows. And you got these videos that are all old, black and white, and all that crap. And they have 3D today and everything, but they're gonna show you these phony videos telling you that you can't go over there. This place is not even real. Let's go.
The world's coal needs for centuries. These official motion pictures can give only a cross-section of the miles of photographic records accumulated on this expedition by the Navy. The exposed mapping film will take 5 years to assemble.
Best film they could get.
Amplifying these are the radar magnetic detectors, accurately recording mineral discoveries of immense value for the future use of all mankind.
Right.
England, Norway, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, South American countries, and Soviet Russia are claiming Antarctic territory.
Now, think about that. These are all new countries. These countries don't exist that far long ago, people. These are the new constructs of the Vatican since they came. The whole Religio slaughterhouse started. You know what I'm saying? They created these countries, and these are all neo, reminiscence stuff. This is not, old. These are new. That's why I told you this is a lab. They just created this yesterday before we were born. And we were born here, and they told us these lies, and everybody just believed because they don't know better. They didn't live that long, okay, and they don't expect to live that long. They tell them men are not supposed to be living too long because then you start finding things out. You start traveling, even if you don't travel, the power of your mind. If you tap into your power of your mind, and then you start, you don't need even to travel to see something. Yeah, your mind can see something that you not miles away from you. You know what I'm saying? That's the power of the mind. They're not going to teach you because they tell you you're just you're not supposed to have a soul anyway. So how are you going to be thinking that far, that deep? To them, it's not going to happen. But in the real world, and other people, that's what they do. They can go way far past behind these ice walls. Before you tell them that there is an ice wall there, they already know. And they already know there's something else there, and that's why we can't go over there. That's why we are isolated here. And like an experiment controlled by somebody, basically the same people, 90% keep voting for the same people. It's a simulation. They keep voting the same people that exist. This movement exists since they created this realm. They created these countries that we call whatever. Europeans, Germans, Russians, Africans, even Americans, because the whole thing was reset and then they restarted and everybody got a name, and everybody got a nation, Everybody got plugged in. Let's go.
The United States recognizes no claim, and so far has made no formal claims for itself.
Of course, they've never been there.
But international policies cannot concern the Admiral now. His duty is to keep his flying laboratories functioning, to fulfill his dream of a lifetime.
Bunger leans forward
And you're gonna notice that they just show you, vague stuff like mountains, ice, like there's nothing there. They're trying to tell you, don't go there. There's nothing interesting there. Yes, there are minerals that can be dig out, you know what I'm saying? But we have minerals here that we can fight and kill each other and take it anyway. So we don't need to go there. Okay? This is all secret. The people don't need to know. And only a few people that runs in this matrix that knows this and controls this and have license to actually, go there if they need to. Anybody else is closed inside the prison. That's what this channel is about. That's why I'm waking you up. You know what I'm saying? To think beyond the veil. You know what I'm saying? Think beyond your little village, beyond your little city, beyond your little country. Yeah, there is a bigger world out there that they don't want you to know. So they have to keep you trapped in this matrix, in this lifestyle, okay, in this prison lifestyle. Everything fake, simulation, you know what I'm saying? It's all transbots, it's all artificial beings, you know what I'm saying? With artificial purposes, with artificial wants that does not feel the reality of living beings, okay? And they keep them in a little bottle. They keep them asleep, they dose them, they prevent them from going outside the circles. That's why I told you, they got these countries, they got these nations, they got these tribes, yeah, and I even believe that everybody is the same, you know what I'm saying? Hold on. Yeah, guys, as I was saying, man, and I think that these dudes, man, I think everybody used to be the same, you know what I'm saying? And they basically changed, you know what I'm saying? All that lab stuff going on, you know what I'm saying? All them juices, they basically, I think, been changing people. Or before they, or when they went, no, I think when they actually implanted the people here, they implanted these different people with, like, they made sure that we had like variations in color, lookings, you know what I'm saying, to create that artificial division. Because imagine if everybody was the same tone and the same thing, it would be a problem. We would think differently. You know what I'm saying? So they had to create this spice, gene spicing. You know what I'm saying? Technology that you don't know back there deep down on the soil. Gene splicings. Yeah, they show you how they spice these dogs and they create all sorts of them with different colors, with hair, without hair, big, tall, small, giant, all types. They play with these genes down there in deep down in the soil, you know what I'm saying? And then bring these beings out here and then rule over them by dividing them. That's what's going on. This gets ugly, people. That's why I said this truth is not for everybody. Some things we tell you here, it can change your life, it can change the way you think, you can go to hell, you know what I'm saying? So you need to be very strong soul, you know what I'm saying? You have to be like truth seeker, Yeah, that's the profile you gotta be. You gotta be a truth seeker. You have to be an open mind to receive information, process information, filter information, and then, get that wisdom of understanding the information and breaking down the information so that you can share with other people. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you get information from the universe just like that. You know what I'm saying? Just it hits you. Boom. You're not even thinking about it, and it just hit you. Boom. This is what's happening concerning this. Boom. Okay? So that's what happens when you tune with the self and stuff like that. Because then your energy is open to the universe. It's not blocked by false beliefs. You know what I'm saying? What false beliefs do, they block your inner self from getting these downloads from the universe about the world around you, the reality about the truth about your life and what this is. Okay? Because the people that do this, they make sure that they program your mind that you don't get these downloads by giving you fear, by giving you other things to want, other desires, other things to trying to control you, what's best in life, telling you what is good and what is not, telling you everything, and not letting you actually decide by yourself, either by experience or by knowledge or by energy, universal knowledge, or by God enlightenment, which is God inside you. They prevent all of that to keep you in the matrix of let's listen to what the other big guy has to say because he can save the world. You can't. You don't have what it takes. You can't decipher. You can't read them. You can't know. So you have to follow somebody who does study, who have degrees. They can break it down to you. Okay, because especially like if you're dealing with religion, they have that special language that the book is written in, and nobody else speaks that language. And when they get confrontations, they tell them, even when like if somebody find out you're lying, dude, and then they're gonna tell you that you don't know what you're talking about because you don't understand the language. That's what they hide behind. You see what I'm saying? So it's all it's all a trap. And when they chase it to the source, it goes into nothing, because if you don't know the language, you're not gonna go now to school to learn a language and gonna know what it means just to break down something. You need to you're not just gonna learn a language in school and then know how to break down something in that language. You actually have to be talking that language since you were born, basically, for like 10, 20 years to understand really what language is telling you. Otherwise, you're just in the dark. And that's what all these religious things are. Most people there, they are in the dark. They followers that don't know what they're doing. And that's the role that they have around them. They can't go beyond these lines of the treaty. You know what I'm saying? It's all closed. And it's sad, people. It's sad. And I'm gonna leave you with that video again, just to see what's going on beyond the ice wall, that nobody can go with that phony videos, you know what I'm saying, that they gave us of a bull. They still, these people that preach the bull tell you that, they got these extra lands over there, but they're not in this earth, are they? They're in another planet. Because if we know the whole earth, and if you claim the New World Order and everything, but this part of the world, nobody lives there, nobody can go there, how do you explain that? Yeah, man. That's all, man. I love you all. Keep the instructions. Peace.
Bunger leans forward in amazement. His eyes have caught a sudden and unbelievable change in scenery. The universal white is turned to chocolate brown, dotted with blue. A cameraman goes into action. 300 square miles of land without snow. Land that might be in New Mexico or Arizona. Pictures alone will prove Bunger has discovered a warm oasis in the shadow of the pole. It is for such supreme moments as this that men brave the hardships of exploration. The astounding, undreamed of fact is that they are over a chain of warm water lakes whose shores, except for small patches, are free of ice and snow. Commander Bunger circles the largest lake in sight, 5 miles long. He comes in to make a landing. Water temperatures must be recorded. Samples taken. He finds the water fresh, the temperature 38 degrees Fahrenheit. On the shores are vast deposits of coal and of minerals of the utmost importance to civilization.
Mountain ranges with peaks 20,000 feet above sea level. The trimetric gun lenses, clicking overlapping exposures every 3 seconds, photograph from horizon to horizon. Coal, a mountain of coal. Byrd later declares Antarctic mines, if once tapped, could supply the world's coal needs for centuries. These official motion pictures can give only a cross-section of the miles of photographic records accumulated on this expedition by the Navy. The exposed mapping film will take 5 years to assemble. Amplifying these are the radar magnetic detectors, accurately recording mineral discoveries of immense value for the future use of all mankind. England, Norway, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, South American countries, and Soviet Russia are claiming Antarctic territory. The United States recognizes no claim, and so far has made no formal claims for itself. But international policies cannot concern the Admiral now. His duty is to keep his flying laboratories functioning, to fulfill his dream of a lifetime.
Bunger leans forward in amazement. His eyes have caught a sudden and unbelievable change in scenery. The universal white is turned to chocolate brown, dotted with blue. A cameraman goes into action. 300 square miles of land without snow. Land that might be in New Mexico or Arizona. Pictures alone will prove Bunger has discovered a warm oasis in the shadow of the pole. It is for such supreme moments as this that men brave the hardships of exploration. The astounding, undreamed of fact is that they are over a chain of warm water lakes whose shores, except for small patches,